All right, boys and girls. Today we're about to start a new unit that has some familiar topics that we've already learned in the past. Uh, what I'd like for you to do right now is you have these graphic organizers on your desk, all right? And basically these are anticipation guides. So what I want you to do is I want you to open your book, and based on the title page and the picture that's on the title page from Letters from Rivka, I want you to jot down what you think that this story is going to be about. All right, without even reading any of this excerpt here from Letters from Rivka, can we make an educated guess based on the title and the two pictures of what we think this is about? Let's take a couple minutes, all right, for you to just start jotting down your ideas on this anticipation guide. All right, Alexandria, what do you think from Letters from Rivka is going to be about, based on the title and the two pictures on the page? All right, very good. She does look a little worried, so you think that this letter is probably coming from a worried little girl, and she's going to be in some kind of trouble. All right, very good. How about you, Peyton? Okay, very good. The old lady seems to be crying, so maybe this is a goodbye letter of some sort. All right, very good. All right, now in the last unit, we learned a little something about Africa. All right, and when we talked about Africa or studied specifically the country of Rwanda, we learned that there was some strife that was going on there. All right, can anybody raise a quiet hand and tell us what the situation was in Rwanda? Amber. Okay, very good. Would anyone like to add to that? Sanaa? All right. All right, so there was two different groups there, the Hutus and the Tutsis, and they didn't like each other very much. They had to share resources, and they had to share this land of Rwanda. All right, and so yes, exactly right. All right, genocide. All right, so that's when a particular group, all right, doesn't like another particular group, and they enter into this mass killing of this one group based on normally its physical features. All right, so in this unit, we're going to talk about something similar along those lines. All right, and Letters from Rivka is a short story. All right, so it's based on non-fictional literature, and it's based on a time in the 1920s where there was some issues between races in Europe. All right, namely the Jewish people, and they were considered to be the inferior group of people. All right, so we're going to look not only at this letter written by Rivka to her dear cousin Tova, we're also going to look at a diary that many of you may have heard of already, that was written by a young lady who was in hiding, a Jewish girl and her family that were in hiding in Germany. All right, so let's begin by reading the first couple excerpts from this letter from Rivka to her cousin Tova.
Letters from Rivka, Chapter 1. And from the gloomy land of lonely exile to a new country bade me come. Pushkin. September 2nd, 1919, Russia. My dear cousin Tova, we made it. If it had not been for your father, though, I think my family would all be dead now. Mama, Papa, Nathan, Saul, and me. At the very best, we would be in that filthy prison in Berdichev, not rolling west through Ukraine on a freight train bound for Poland. I am sure you and Cousin Hannah were glad to see Uncle Avrum come home today. How worried his daughters must have been after the locked doors and whisperings of last night. Soon Baby Ruth, my dear little grandmother, will hear of our escape. I hope she gives a big pot of Früsli's cream to Uncle Avrum. How better could she thank him? When the sun rose above the trees at the train station in Berdichev this morning, I stood alone outside a boxcar, my heart knocking against my ribs. I stood there, trying to look older than my 12 years, wrapped in the new shawl Cousin Hannah gave to me. Still I trembled. Wear this in hell, Hannah had whispered in my ear, as she draped the shawl over my shoulders early this morning, before we slipped from your house into the dark. Come, Papa said, leading us through the woods to the dark station. I looked back to the flickering lights of your house, Tova. Quickly, Rivka, Papa whispered. The boys and Mama. I must hide before light. You can distract the guards, can't you, little sister? Nathan said, putting an arm around me. In the darkness, I could not see his eyes, but I felt them studying me. Yes, I answered, not wanting to disappoint him. At the train station, Papa and Mama hid behind bales of hay and boxcars to my right. My two giant brothers, Nathan and Saul, crouched in separate cars to my left. Papa said that we should hide in different cars. If the guards discovered only one of us, perhaps the others might still escape.
All right. So let's stop right there and dig deeper into the context of the text. All right. So based on the first paragraph, what do you think this story will be about? And does that agree or disagree with what you have on your anticipation guide? Amber? Okay. Thank you for sharing, Amber. All right. Let's look at the characters. What do Rivka's remarks about her grandmother and Uncle Avram reveal about her character? Okay, so character traits are revealed in several ways. Through what the character may say or think, how the character acts, or other things that the characters say about themselves or others say about specific characters. So we already know something about Rivka based on what we've read so far. She seems to be cheerful and thoughtful, and she's concerned in her letter about her cousin and her uncle. Where is Rivka as she writes this letter? Chachi? Very good. Rivka is on a train, all right? And this train is heading to Poland. Eric, why might she be heading to Poland? Okay, so we can assume that because she's heading to Poland, that Poland may be a safe haven for Jews. All right, so this may be a place of comfort for them. All right, very good. Now let's read a little bit more.
Behind me, in the dusty corner of a boxcar, sat my own rucksack. It waited for me, holding what little I own in this world. I had packed Mama's candlesticks, wrapped in my 2 heavy dresses at the bottom of the sack. Your gift to me, the book of Pushkin, I did not pack. I kept it out, holding it in my hands. I would have liked to fly away, to race back up the road, stopping at every door to say goodbye, to say that we were going to America. But I could not. Papa said we must tell no one we were leaving, not even Bobby Ruth. Only you and Hannah and Uncle Avram knew. I'm so glad at least you knew, Tova. As Papa expected, not long after he and Mama and the boys had hidden themselves, 2 guards emerged from a wooden shelter. They thundered down the platform in their heavy boots, climbing in and out of the cars, making their search. They did not notice me at first. Saul says I am too little for anyone to notice. But you know Saul. He never has a nice word to say to me, and I am small for a girl of 12. Still, my size did not keep the guards from noticing me, and I think the guards missed seeing me at first because they were so busy in their search of the train. They were searching for Nathan. You know as well as I, Tova, that when a Jewish boy deserts the Russian army, the army tries hard to find him. They bring him back and kill him in front of his regiment as a warning to the others. Those who have helped him, they also die. Late last night, when Nathan slipped away from his regiment and appeared at our door, joy filled my heart at seeing my favorite brother again. Yet a troubled look worried Nathan's face. He hugged me only for a moment. His dimpled smile vanished as quickly as it came. I've come, he said, to warn Saul. The soldiers will soon follow. They will take him into the army. I am ashamed to.
All right. So in a huge conflict such as war, individuals face many smaller conflicts as they try to avoid danger. All right. So what do we learn about Rivka's brothers? Mackenzie? Okay, so Rivka's brothers were in the army. What army? Alex. All right, very good. They were in the Russian army. And why is this particularly strange that they're in the Russian army? Isaac? Correct, because they're Jews. All right, and so they're taking these people who weren't good enough to be in their society, and they're putting them in the army. They're making them fight. All right, mostly because they feel like their lives are not as valuable. Okay, sometimes they're on the front lines even without the proper weaponry, basically to absorb bullets. All right, so now Tova's in this situation where her family is trying to flee Russia and get to Poland. All right, what is the conflict that that Rivka's facing at this very moment in the story? Malayer? Okay, very good. All right, so there's sort of like an underground movement, all right, that's going on, and they have to leave and not tell anyone. But she wants to tell Uncle Abram and her grandmother because they're near and dear to her heart. But if she does that, she runs the risk of getting caught. And if they get caught, they will be killed. All right, so she has to make that decision. All right, now we'll stop right here in the story for today, but let's go and look at some vocabulary. All right, so in order for us to understand fully what's going on here, and I know, because this is written, in a different country, some of the words and how they may be used may be a little foreign to us. All right, so let's take some time to look at some vocabulary. All right, distract. Morgan? Very good. Emerged. Emerged. Sophia? Desserts. Desserts. Not to be confused with what you eat after your dinner. If you eat all of your food, like my girls, they only get dessert if they eat all of their food, but dessert. Very good. Peasants. Peasants. What are peasants? Ryan? All right, very good. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to begin our plot diagram, where we're going to diagram the things that we've learned so far by filling in the exposition and the characters and the setting of a letter from Rivka.